Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video outlining some of the ways that you can share content in your Teams meetings. There's been a lot of questions around how teachers can still annotate and show written work effectively and smoothly during a meeting. And so that's, there's ways that you can hook up digital tablets, things like that. But for somebody who doesn't have a digital tablet or a touchscreen device that they can use, I want to show a simple way that Teams allows you to actually show written work and how you can do that quickly and effectively in a meeting. So I'm going to open up my Teams desktop app here, and I'll go into one of my demo classes I have here. So my EdTech 101 class. And let's say we wanted to schedule a meeting for this group where I'm going to demonstrate this. So I can just in my general channel here, we'll keep all of our meetings in the general channel for now for this group. I can click on the video camera at the bottom that says Meet Now, and I'll schedule this meeting, and I'll say maybe this will start at 8:45. So I'll go in and make my adjustments here in the calendar, and we'll set that just for a 30-minute meeting. And so I'll just say sample, we'll call this sample of screen sharing. So I'm going to schedule this meeting, and we have a demo student that's part of this class as well, and I'll outline what that looks like from their perspective. But so here I've got my meeting scheduled now, and I'm going to go in and, as teachers should, before you start your meeting, it's good to go into the meeting options and just ensure that you are the only presenter. So again, under these settings of who can present, we just switch that to only me and click save. And that way your students won't have the ability to screen share or mute others or remove other students from the meeting. So once we've clicked save, it'll show that we're done, and now we're ready to start our meeting. So in the Teams app, I'm going to join the meeting and get this started. And I'll keep my video camera off for now and my microphone off, but I'll join now. And then I'm going to join as well from the demo student. So here I can see this is the demo student's profile. And in their Teams, we can go to the same class that I was showing you before, and they can see now that I've started the meeting. So they're going to join the meeting, and we'll join with our video and microphone off as well, which is good practice as well to join with those off, and then people can turn them on once they're ready, once they're comfortable to do that. So they can click join now. And they're now into the meeting, and they can check out the chat and who else is part of it. But we're going to outline, so from the teacher perspective, they want to share content easily. So I've shown in some other videos how, again, you can share things like your desktop, a window, a PowerPoint. But again, that question of annotation has come up a lot, and how you can do that, easily and effectively. And so I'm setting up this Teams meeting from my board device, from my Windows 10 laptop. But I, like most educators, I would say, have a mobile device, have a cell phone. And these mobile devices nowadays have very high resolution cameras that are built into them. And so I'm going to use my phone here to demonstrate that. And so if you have an iOS phone, so an iPhone, or you have an Android device, there's a Microsoft Teams application for those platforms. You can see it. There it is in the bottom left there. Okay, so that's the Teams mobile application for iOS. And one of the neat things about this program is that you'll see that when I install this and I open up the application, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to open it up. You're going to see that it's going to give me a notification right away. As soon as I open that, you can see that at the top. It says, in progress, there's a meeting in the general channel of one of my teams. Would you like to join on this device? And it recognizes that automatically. So it's recognized that I'm in a meeting on my laptop, but would I like to join as well on my mobile device? So I'm going to go ahead and click that purple join button at the top. And what this allows me to do is actually join the meeting using this mobile device. And now it's helpful if you need to leave the computer for a moment, but you still want to hear the audio, or you want to be able to share content, if you were doing this with your students. But where this becomes really powerful, so I'm going to show you the interface at the bottom there. I'll show you that I've got my video, microphone, and speaker disabled right now, just so I don't get an echo effect. But where this becomes really powerful is using this to share content that's around you. So on paper, and you want to, again, do some annotations, do some handwritten work. You're doing a math problem, you're doing a science problem. You need to show that like we would in class with a student or on a whiteboard. So you can do that very quickly. And the way that's done is in the mobile app, if you tap on the screen, you have the three dots there, your ellipses, which again, that's always the icon for more options. And if we click on that, and I'll hold this up now, you can see that we've got options to start the recording, turn on live captions, put me on hold, and share as well. And now this is recognizing that I'm the meeting organizer, just like I'm on the computer, and I'm assigned in, to the same account on this device. And so now I can actually share content from my mobile device in this same meeting. So you can see here, I've got the option to share a PowerPoint, share a photo, share a video, share a screen. So that can be useful as well if you had a photo that you had taken that you wanted to share with the group quickly, but it's again a photo you took on your mobile device, which would be more likely than taking it with the webcam on your computer. But we're going to use the option here to share video. And what that's going to do is allow us to actually share a continuous feed of what the camera is seeing. So I'm going to click on share video and show you what that looks like. So at the bottom here, it's selected to video, and you can't really see it. It's not showing up very well with the color there, but it's going to say that button above says start presenting. And so all I need to do is click start presenting. You'll see this on the screen here. I also have the ability to flip between the front facing or rear facing camera. I'm going to use the rear facing camera. It's much higher resolution. It's going to be better suited in this case for basically being able to show my setup here and how I'm going to annotate. So I'm going to click start presenting. And you'll see on our screen here, take a look. So I am now, again, running this meeting from my laptop. I can monitor the conversation. I can monitor my participants. I can see if demo student maybe had a question and raised their hand. But now I'm sharing content from my mobile device, which is pretty neat. So we can see the setup. And all I'm going to do is, there's different ways we could do this, but I'm just going to use, I've got a stack of board games here and a little mount. This is something I use sometimes to prop a tablet in, but I'm literally going to just sandwich my phone on top of the box and under anything heavy that will hold the phone. And then I'm going to show how we could illustrate some content that's shown below. The neat thing too is that as I rotate my phone, you can see it switches between portrait and landscape mode, and landscape is definitely recommended for the viewing experience on a laptop. So I'm going to just place the phone down, as I said, put something heavy on top, and there we go. We have ourselves a very quick, easy document camera, which often cost a fair amount of money to purchase that. It requires third-party software that you need to install on your computer. The experience often with that software is it can be slow. It can also require then the learning of an additional platform. As you saw there on the Teams app, you literally just open it up on your mobile device, click join the meeting, and then click share. And I can tell you that the experience with this in terms of the there's basically virtually no lag. So this is in real time as I'm moving my finger across. This is the only paper I had nearby. Instructions on how to play backgammon. But so this could be a blank piece of paper, and I could be doing my work. I could be outlining a process, and it allows me to very, very quickly do that without, again, needing any additional hardware other than the phone that most people have with them all the time. And I would say that with modern smartphones, the camera and the resolution you have on that camera is generally much higher than a low price, anyways, document camera. And I can do things like, I can, it will autofocus as I move the height of this. It'll auto adjust the exposure as well. And that again depends on the camera quality, but you can see you get very clear results here. So as I'm done, when I'm finished on the device, on the phone, I'll show you, I can just click on stop presenting. I'm going to do that. And then we can see our screen switches back to the traditional interface where I would see if demo student had their video enabled, I could see them. But yeah, it's allowed me to, annotate, to do written work, and my students to be able to see that in real time, to hear my narration of the process while I can still monitor the meeting chat. I can monitor my participants. I never have to leave the Teams interface. And so again, it's a really, I would say, simple way to do that. And just one more time showing you from this mobile app. Click on the ellipses, click on share, and then click on share video, and then click start presenting. And just to outline, something else when we talk about ways that you can make this content then accessible to students going forward is that we could start as a recording, right? We could start a recording of this meeting. So any of these annotations that I'm doing would be recorded for students maybe who weren't able to take part in that, synchronously. They could have access to that asynchronously at their own pace. We could also do things just like use a snapshot. You could, if you want to not have a full video, but you want to take snapshot of the finished product, we could use things like the snip and sketch tool here built into Windows 10. I'm showing at the bottom, basically a way to take a quick screenshot. So I could take a screenshot. Maybe I say, I don't need to record this full lesson, but I'm just going to take a screenshot of these, riveting backgammon instructions. So I could just highlight that and click select. And now I've got a screenshot that I could save. And, maybe I'll just show I can save this onto my device. I'll put this in my OneDrive folder, which is good practice to, again, back things up in a cloud-based storage environment. So we'll save that. And then in my team, I could just, quickly then share that file with the group, so that after this meeting is done, they can find that screenshot. Maybe it was the worked example, the problem we talked about. So they've got quick access to that back in the team once this is finished. I'll just find that file I just showed you. Just one moment. And it hasn't synchronized yet with my Outlook, but I could add that image, and then again, students would have easy access to it going forward. I'll upload it from my computer for now, just because it hadn't synchronized yet. So under WQSB, and it's my annotation. So I can upload that file. And again, here, actually, this outlines just, uploading content during a Teams meeting. Because this is a meeting I scheduled as part of this team, it actually decides where do you want to place this file. Do you already have preset folders set up? And if this was a file I don't want students to edit, it's something that I want to they can have view access, but not editing access. I'll put that in the locked class materials folder, which is a read-only folder. So I can upload that and send it off to them. And so again, they can view that afterwards. And again, I can now stop the recording, and let's say we're finished our session for the day. You can say goodbye to our demo student, and then I'm going to end this meeting. Which again, we talk about best practices. Rather than hanging up as the teacher, you want to end the meeting, so it's going to automatically remove all your students afterwards as well. So click end meeting. What that process looks like here. And so as a teacher, I'm brought back to my team, and I can see here the screenshot that we recorded. I can show you from the demo student's point of view too. Again, they'll have access now to any of the chat that happened during that meeting. They can see the screenshot that we took of our worked example, and there's going to be a recording. And this recording currently is just saving. It takes about generally twice the length of the recording to process. So if it's, a 30-minute recording, it'll take about maybe an hour to process. Usually it's actually can be even faster than that, but that's the general time frame they give. And then as soon as it's done, the students will have access to view that recording with transcriptions enabled. They can search for keywords to it. It'll use automated transcriptions so that they can find a particular part of the video based on keyword. But yeah, so that's an example I wanted to share of how, again, just using your mobile device and a stack of board games or textbooks, something to prop the phone up at a height that you're comfortable with. Obviously, it'd be even better if you do have a flexible mount of some sort to hold the phone, maybe with an adjustable, what they call like the gooseneck, where you can adjust it to the height you want and the angle you want. That's best case scenario, I'd say. But again, it really does work with anything that will prop the phone to the height you want and something heavy to hold it in place. That's it. So I wanted to share that with everyone. I hope that's helpful. And again, if you have questions about that and want to see, that process illustrated further or discuss that, don't hesitate to reach out. My email is sgray@wqsb.qc.ca, and we'll talk soon.